All right, on to topic 2. Transition to a better show.
There's no good way to transition from that.
It's a much better show.
I mean,
much better
much
show.
better.
Yes. All right, we are about to debate and tier make the Office characters, ranking them from S, A, B, C, D. All right, so Kate, you need to bring up your list. So yes, we are tier making once again. I will be on the left. Kate will be on the right. So
as you screen share.
How do you screen share? You did it before.
No, I need.
Oh yes, you need to screen share. They can see you right now, but yeah, you need to screen share.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, we are going to go through the Office characters because The Office is a great show. And we're just gonna tier rank our favorite the characters. So, in this list, we have. I'll list through them quickly. We got Michael Scott. We got Oscar Martinez. We got shit. I'm gonna be terrible at names.
That's why I'm not doing this.
We got the boss guy. We got Gabe. We got Jim. We got Kevin. We got, oh boy, second boss lady. We got. Why am I forgetting all these names now? We got Phyllis. We got British lady. We got Idris Elba's character. I'm sorry. We got New Kid 1. We got Mo. What was it, Mose? No, Mose isn't. That's
Yeah, that's right.
It was? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
We got security guard. Why? We got Todd Packer. We got
Stanley.
Thank you. We got Holly. We got Pam. I was going with her real name for a second. I was like, nope. We got Daryl.
I thought I was going in a different order because I cannot believe that you would Pam.
We got Daryl. We got
fake fan.
I am apparently a fake fan. Wow, this is terrible. Fucking Roy. We got Dwight. We got, oh god, why? What's up? Yes, Angela. We got Aaron / Kelly too. We got Bob Vance Refrigeration. We got Plop. We got Ultron. We got
AKA Lizard King.
We got Rashida Jones. We got Kelly. We got Ryan. We got hold on. Meredith. We got Man, why do I forget? Old man. We got Jan, we got Andy, we got
Creed.
Tobey, Creed, thank you. And we got Will Ferrell, which nobody remembers his name.
That was a weird time in that show.
That was rough. Okay.
That was very rough.
If you're still here with us on the podcast, thanks. Character has the same name as the character. What?
Creed Bratton is actually the guy's name.
Oh, yeah. Some of them, yeah, that's their actual name. I know that. But, yeah, shut up, Jeff. This ain't actor game. It's The Office tier list. So, all right. So how do we want to do this? I don't think we're going to go one for one, but maybe we assemble who's D, who's C. Or, sorry, who's D, talk about it. Who's C, talk about it. B, so on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously talk about it while you're doing it. Okay, who's making it bottom tier? Oh, no, I'm just kidding. All right.
I pulled up a list. D'Angelo.
D'Angelo. D. Okay.
That was a weird time in the show. His character was weird. Also, I'm just not a fan of Will Ferrell.
Oh, fair enough. He does have one. Okay, so two. Sorry, he's got two redeeming scenes. So the one where him and Michael first meet and they're on the phone literally 2 feet from each other. That's a great one. And then
that's pretty good.
The juggling one. I'm juggling off your face, Phyllis. Don't move.
Don't move.
That one's great. Have you seen it where someone's actually animated juggling balls into his hands?
No.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. Yeah, you should definitely check that out. Let's see. So yeah, this list, obviously whoever goes in those areas, guys, is just based on our personal preference. Like, it doesn't have to be story-wise they were bad or whatever. So you're kind of slacking over there. I'm racking up a list.
Oh, I didn't realize you were.
Yeah.
Going.
So I'm saying like we're
talking about each one.
No. So like assemble your list if you want to talk about it while you make it, and then when we're done with D, we can quickly cover who we had, talk about why. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah, I got 6 people so far. Let's see. Who else? I'm tempted to put another person in here, but only because I don't like their character. Well, they're like a villain, but they're a good villain, so I think I should put them higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did a good job. I'll put you in there, though. I'll put you in there just because reasons.
Because reasons.
Yeah, put you in there. I got a lot down here. Be whittling my way.
That doesn't like anybody in the show.
I hate them all. That's why I couldn't name them. I've never actually seen this show.
I've never watched the show.
I never watched it, but that's why I made it top 2 on my binge watch over again list behind How I Met Your Mother. Oh, God. Waiting for those angry barrage of comments. Yeah, I think I'm good. What's up?
I think I'm ready.
You think you're ready? Oh, man.
I only have 4.
You have 4, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9. Jeff says he actually can't watch The Office. I can't deal with people being awkward in TV or movies. I have to leave the room. So I will say this. They were awkward a little bit, especially first season. But I think once you get past that hurdle, you're good. Because, I kind of get what you're meaning, or what you're saying. Because when I first watched the show, I was like, I don't get it. Why are we talking to the camera so much? Like, I never realized it was a documentary at first either. I was just like, why are we just doing these breaking the fourth wall things? Like, what's going on?
Okay, I gotta add another one.
But when you understand why they're doing it, I'm like, oh, okay. And then have you ever gotten to the end of the show and you're like, I kind of wanted to see the whole documentary, but then you're like, wait, was this all the documentary? If so, how long did it air for? Because they aired it at the bar, or it was on the bar, and then like a year later they did the talking, like the press conference thing. It's like, wait a minute. How did that work out? Like, was it one compiled thing? Was it not? Like, I don't know. Watch 2 minutes of Scott's Tots around them. That is a very tough to watch episode.
That's very cringy.
Yeah.
I don't know what the episode is called, where Jim and Pam go over to Michael's house for dinner.
The dinner party, and Jim tries to leave early, and then Pam's like,
God.
no.
I almost physically can't watch that episode.
Yeah, that one's a rough one. Look at my TV. All 15 inches.
Oh my. The front of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. All right. So I'm just going to quickly run down my characters, and I'll pass it over to you. So I got D'Angelo, Gabe, Roy, Jan, new guy 1 from Hot Tub Time Machine, Mose, Ultron, security guard, and Plop. That's who I got in there.
Yikes. I'm not going to be able to remember anybody's name either.
Okay, so you got everybody I have, except for you have Ryan and you have Todd Packer.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they're both gross.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong. Their performances were great.
Right. I hear you.
They were good villains.
Mm-hmm.
However, they were so gross.
Gotcha.
That I had to put them at the bottom because they were gross.
Yeah, Ryan, I was debating, but he wasn't actually the one I was talking about or hinting at earlier. Thinking about Ryan has some redeemable stuff, or enjoyable stuff, I may say, that I think is going to bump him up in my list. Same with Packer. Like, not going to lie, I probably laughed at a few things more than I should have with his character. But yeah, the other 3, like, Roy is a glimmer and sunshine of hope at one point when he realizes, hey, I fucked up. I should have been better to Pam. Things could have been better. And then he blows up at the bar when she mentions that she kissed him at the casino night, and like him and his cousin, I don't know.
I don't know.
Rage. And then the next episode he attempts to punch Jim and then Dwight saves him. Like, whoo, okay, yeah, that's like you were on the uphill, the tiny little bunny hill at the roller coaster, and then you just plummeted down to hell. Like, oh boy. So yeah,
Do you consider him redeemed at the end though?
Oh shit.
When he marries somebody else.
Okay, hold on. I gotta put it into my memory. What? So you're talking the final episodes? Like the last...
I don't remember if it was one of the final episodes, but I think it's the last time he appears in the show when Jim and Pam go to his wedding to whoever it is that he's marrying.
I don't remember that.
And he like plays the piano and sings her a song and is like a nice person.
Okay, now little asterisks on the board here. I haven't fully paid attention and watched The Office for a while.
Asterisk. I haven't watched
watched the show, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Who's Roy? So like I've had it on like in the background while I'm doing stuff, or like I like to fall asleep to shows on, so I'll have that on. So my memory is hit or miss with episodes. Like, it's funny sometimes, like it seems like the same episodes are on when I'm going to sleep. It's like, oh, this one again. But then you get those rare occurrences where you wake up and it's a different episode and you're like, oh shit, I forgot this happened.
Oh shit.
I think that might be a point in my memory where I'm blanking on it right now. But if that sounds good. I don't know if that would fully redeem me for him. Like, I'm glad he moved on. I'm glad he had a life and whatever is the character. But, like, I don't know. Jeff thinks the show tried to kind of redeem him. Yeah. I don't know.
The show did.
Yeah, he was definitely the big villain, or at least for Jim, obviously, in season 1 and 2. And then, yeah, obviously the events transpired that I just mentioned. And, whoo, boy. Bye. So... yeah, he's on there. So why is the security guard on there? Is he just because he doesn't really in there all that much?
Yeah, just because. Okay, and I am now thinking that perhaps I should have put him higher because this man does not give a shit.
No, he doesn't.
About anybody else. Like, this man just doesn't care. He doesn't have any fucks to give. Yeah. And I'm going to move him up one now.
Oh,
because
promotion.
I appreciate that. This man doesn't even act like he cares. He just doesn't care, and that's how he lives his life. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Let's see. So, okay, I think you talked about all your guys while you have them in there. So, okay, Gabe is like cringe city for me. He's such an awkward character, and when him and Kelly are dating, or sorry, Aaron, my bad, are dating, it's so God. And I'm gonna talk about that probably later, but I thought Aaron should have had a different path, and when that happened, I was like, God, get out of this immediately. So yeah, Gabe was just a weird one. Jan, I mean, she's the villain. She's a good villain, but man, she's got so many awkward scenes. Like you mentioned, the house party and the singing, and obviously she got the daughter, like,
oh
Astrid.
My God.
It's just like, yeah, it was just cringe city whenever she came on, especially down the road. She
has huge boobs, though.
She does. New Kids
not
on the...
Not the redeeming quality. She just... That's a plot
You know what?
point.
She's going to S. No, just kidding.
Her boobs are going to S.
You just moved up a guy because he doesn't give a fuck. New Kids on the Block. You know, the more I watch that final season, they're fine. They're fine. Mm-hmm. I can remember one redeemable, well, not redeemable, good moment for each of them. Hot Tub Time Machine Kid. It's funny when he's sacrificed over to Jan
Oh my
to make
God.
that paper sale. That is hilarious.
Yes. And he loses like months of his life just living in like an alternate reality with Jan.
And then Plop, his name was Jim too, or maybe, I don't know, whatever the story of the nickname was. He had one good episode where they took all the complaint cards and he was making them into the tower. Yeah.
His name is Pete.
Pete, thank you, Pete. So yeah, I liked that episode and liked how he kind of like was chipping in with Kevin. Obviously, was the teamwork of all them. And then Pam gets her first complaint because she does the your mama joke.
Oh my God!
And then it turns out that the mom passed away.
That was this show. It's so good, but it's honestly hard to watch.
Wow.
It's hard to watch.
Really selling it today, not knowing characters. It's hard to watch. Oh boy. So yeah, that's why they're low on my list. Dwight's cousin, he's there. I think the only good thing I like about him is the finale where he does the bar thing. And then Ultron, fucking Spader, James Spader's character. He's like this hard ass boss when he first shows up and like mind games the fuck out of everybody. And then,
are you talking about Robert California?
Yes, Robert California, thank you.
AKA the Lizard King.
And then I can't remember, I think it's when David bought it back. David Wallace, now I'm remembering his character's name.
Oh yeah.
Somebody bought it, I think it was when he bought it back. And then he just kind of turned into this like creepy schmuck and just like peaced out.
Yeah, he is kind of a creepy schmuck.
Yeah, so he's bottom tier for me. So moving on to C. Okay. Oh, Robert California. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in C tier only for that one speech he gave where he said, "I'm the fucking Lizard King." Otherwise, he would be bottom tier. If not for that, because I found that so hilarious and obviously it has stuck with me.
Fair enough.
So that's why he's C tier.
All right. Speaking of C tier, let's build our C tier list, shall we? Oh, boy. All right. You're going up there. You're going up there. Who else we got going on here? Who else we got? I think you move on, even though I mentioned you before. Oh, you're definitely up there. Move you there, move you there. Oh, man. Now I'm thinking about like individual moments that I liked about the characters, and one just came to mind for Angela, and I laughed. Just couldn't hold it in. Man, this is gonna be a rough once we only got three tiers left, but yeah, I think I gotta start just putting people on the chopping block. Whoa, B's going like uber C tier.
Hot takes.
Hot takes and pancakes. Are you all set with your list over there?
I don't know if they're hot takes, but they're takes.
Okay.
So I think I'm good.
Okay, you can start. Go ahead.
Okay, well I already talked about the first two that I have there.
Mm.
Gabe is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
However, he goes along with the cringy humor of the show. Like, I don't know. I physically cringe when I watch his parts in the show, but I also enjoy them. And he's so weird and off the wall in a way that I find funny.
Gotcha.
Okay, next I have Jo.
Jo, yep.
She's alright. Like, she's a badass woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has those 3 huge dogs.
Yeah.
But, like, that's kind of what I appreciate about her character. That's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
What is this guy's name?
Charles.
Charles. He's kind of a jerk.
Kind of. Absolutely.
He's like really only a jerk. But like it's Idris Elba, so that's why he's C tier instead of D tier.
Okay.
Which isn't really a great reason, but like he's a good looking man, so.
Oh, okay.
That's
Jan going S tier.
You never did remember this guy's name, did you?
No, Hot Tub Time Machine Kid.
Yep, which I also haven't seen that movie, so
don't. It's a waste of time.
He's funny, but like he's not a huge part of the show.
Yeah, he's only in there the last season, I think. Maybe 2.
But I appreciate his character. He just didn't make that big of an impact.
For sure.
Same with Mose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's really funny. And I just keep picturing I think it's at the end. I don't know. I think it's the very last episode where people are driving in and he's just like running next to the car. Just like full speed.
Yeah.
Jan is a horrible person, but is also cringy in a way that I appreciate. Like, the reason that I appreciate the show is because it's so cringy and she really like leans into it.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow, that actress leaned into this character and did a really good job. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's all I had to say about her. Mm-hmm. And then Meredith is like sometimes cringy in a way that I appreciate, sometimes cringy in a way that I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, she's kind of just really all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it just wasn't my sense of humor.
Gotcha. All right, so let's see. So I had Todd Packer in there because I already mentioned I got a couple of his jokes. I put Ryan in there. So the one thing I liked about Ryan when the Michael Scott Paper Company was a thing, like obviously him and Pam were button heads for that sales job type thing. But I did like when they were all working together on the cheese puff tossing opening, and the other like when they actually sold the company and they're all like freaking out like we could get more money, we could do this, and they're all like friends. So I like that about him. But yeah, the ending where he's got the kid and then him and Kelly run off. Oh god, I hated it, and that's why that's why Kelly's in my bottom. Like, she's dumb. She's just obviously stupid decisions with Ryan. I don't know. I think there's maybe one episode I liked with Kelly. Okay, there was that one where Jim and Dwight had poor customer reviews, and it affected like a bonus that they were supposed to get or whatever. And it only happened because they forgot Kelly's birthday.
Right.
Or didn't go to a party of hers.
Didn't go to a party.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was even her birthday. It was like a watch party.
There was another
show.
one. Yeah, there was one. That one specifically was the watch party they didn't go to. And then there was another one they forgot her birthday. And then they let her take like an hour nap in the break room or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. She's just like, that's another example, like you said with Jan, of an actress doing really well in that role or like committing to it. Because obviously Mindy Kaling's not like that, but yeah, just did not like Kelly at all.
I also appreciate, while we're just talking about Mindy Kaling, she was a writer on the show.
Yeah,
she did a lot of writing for the show, and I don't know, her sense of humor is my sense of humor, and I just appreciate her talent.
Gotcha. I had Meredith and Creed on here just because they were kind of like support. Like, yeah, there's a couple laughs, but like, yeah, they're nothing memorable really. Same with what is your name, British lady?
Hold on, I have it. Vamp while I find it.
She's from Britain and she tries Nellie, thank you. So Nellie originally comes in as a villain, like evil boss type thing. Then she like somehow gets to be boss, then immediately loses the bosshood when Michael comes back or something. I don't remember.
Well, she takes it from Andy.
Takes it from Andy, right?
She just like decides,
and then Andy gets it back. Or something.
At some point, he does. It really
because he decides
around.
to keep her on his sales. Because it was this big redemption thing when David Wallace was there, and then he was just gloating. He's like, "I'm gonna get rehired this day," and like the whole time, but he did a whole spiel about it.
When he dresses up as a custodian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You know what? Speaking of Andy, I gotta add him to C tier. He's got a lot of good in those early seasons, like him punching the wall is hilarious.
Yep.
And then he does so good. He's like doing his little you know, his whole singing thing and stupid
Which you
comedy.
sing at me a lot.
I do, because I don't watch this show. He does the hardcore parkour. He does the stupid jokes. But then, like, when he becomes boss, like, something happens to his character that just turns into this asshole at times. And I mentioned Erin earlier, how I thought Erin should have had a different path. In the end, she ends up with Pete. But I thought her and Andy originally, I was down for that. But then Andy kind of just turns into a butthole, and you're like, oh, no, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that problem. I don't know what the show did to his character. It was a weird decision.
Yeah, and he like bounces back in the finale, which is great, and like that's a victory, but man, he just they did something.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Yeah. I got Tobey in here just because it's fucking Tobey. And then I put Rashida Jones' character in here too. She just, I don't know, didn't really.
Karen?
Yes, Karen. I don't know. I just never really liked Karen. I think okay, I liked one episode where her and Phyllis went on the sales thing as a team.
Yeah.
And they got the fucking whatever you call it, gall get up. But yeah, I like that. He didn't turn into a butthole until after they had the power, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he had. So Jeff, he had two. He was okay. He punched the wall. Went to anger management originally. He was kind of a dick at the beginning. He was trying to be a playboy. Not sure if you remember that episode. He asked Jim who he should hook up with. And Jim told him he should go after Pam and just told him everything opposite that she didn't like as a prank. Him with Angela, I don't think he was a bad guy. He was just oblivious as hell.
I felt so bad for him in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think he turned until he was boss role. Because he even kind of cheered for him getting the boss role. Like he didn't feel qualified and whatever. And I don't remember, it was Daryl or somebody was like, no, you can do this or whatever. But yeah, then once he got it, just like something happened to a character. And it wasn't every episode he was a bad guy. It was just like the points you remember with Aaron, or him just randomly quitting to go onto a boat and sail in the ocean. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my C tier list. So we move it on to B tier here. B tier here. All right. I just put 3 bosses up there. Wow, I'm surprised she made it up so high on this list. Put you up there. Oh shit, might not have anybody left for S&A.
Turns out Bret hates everybody in the show.
I haven't watched this show. Yeah. I'm down to 5 for this last 2. Oh boy.
I think I'm good.
You think you're good? Okay. You want me to go first?
There's a lot of people in beer tier. B tier.
Beer tier.
C tier too.
What's up, Dio? You want me to go first this time, or you want to go first?
You can go first.
All right. So B tier, I got. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 11 people.
Oh,
ruined it. No, just kidding. Go to presentation.
Nope,
mode.
I didn't.
Go to presentation mode.
Where's presentation? Oh God.
Right there.
Okay.
Oh boy. Ooh. There you go. Saved it.
Okay,
Oh, did it save it? Where's your D tier?
Oh shit. All right. Well, you talk about yours. I'll reconstruct.
Right. So I got 11 people in here. So okay, we talked about Idris Elba. We got Charles' character. Charles did a really good job, or Idris did, of being a guy I just hated. But he, like, how he's introduced, he was so good. But then yeah, he's just like straight shooter and doesn't take shit from Jim. And remember the first episode, Jim tries to introduce himself, he's wearing a tuxedo. He's trying to mess with Dwight. There's that one, there's the soccer game, and then later on he doesn't work at the office anymore, but he's still at the company, and it's the volleyball tournament. And he's just shit talking Jim the entire time. So I have him up here. It's like one of those mixes. Like, you hate to cheer the bad guy, but I think he does such a good job of it that he's up there.
Yeah, he does.
We mentioned Jo before. She's awesome. I like how she's also no shit. Like, just takes nothing, and yeah, she's good. David, I like as well too. He's got a couple redeeming scenes. He's got a funny one where he sold the company, but Michael goes to visit him at his house, and his kid's like rocking out on the drum set.
Yep. And then he creates Suck It.
Yeah, he does create Suck It. I had Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration just because B. I had Holly there.
You have Holly in B tier?
I have Holly in B tier. Now, I like Holly. I like her a lot. I don't know if she's my favorite character though. Mm-hmm. Do I cheer for her with Michael? Yeah, absolutely. Like, no doubt about it. I don't know. There's just some things I'm just like, she doesn't strike me as my like upper favorites of characters, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. So nothing really against her. It's just like, when I think of the show, she doesn't come to mind first off. Mm-hmm. I think, like, this was the one that surprised me that I honestly was like, oh shit, I probably should put you lower. Angela. Like, most of the show, she's just like angry and whatnot. Like, she's a Debbie Downer.
Whatnot.
I think there's 2 things that make it better, and sadly one of them's the finale. It's just like that upswing of her and Dwight's wedding. But
that was a big upswing, but it was also the very last episode.
Yeah. And then the scene I told you about, or I talked about earlier, where I couldn't stop laughing, or couldn't hold it back, was the fire drill. Where she throws the cat into the sea.
Hey, the sprinkles!
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like that might be me.
Probably.
Like, I probably would just have tons of cats, and like I would definitely have a cat in the office.
Your office cat. Let's see. Phyllis also makes B tier. She's great throughout. There was one episode where she said something really mean. I think it was to Pam.
Pam, I think.
Yeah. And I was like, that is
I think she said, close your mouth, you look like a trout.
Yeah. It was that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's why I put her in B tier too, because I was like, oh, wow,
this is not your character at all. And I was just like, oh,
yeah,
God.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weirdly mean.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, she's hilarious the rest of the series. Daryl's up there. So Daryl's kind of like not no show, but just kind of like super background early seasons, and then he shows up later, obviously. I like I like how he left and didn't tell anybody. And then when he gets discovered, when he comes back, he's like, oh, hey. And then they have the dance party, which is great. The road trip episode was great with him too.
Yep.
How he's like awkwardly trying to talk on the phone when Holly and Michael are breaking up. And then the blues on the way back. That's good.
So hard to watch. Oh boy.
Oh, and then him, Andy, and Kevin jamming. Like Andy wanted to redeem himself and make a band, and he was gonna pay him. And then they were on a roll, and Daryl's like, "No, let's just keep playing, man." Kevin's up there too for similar reasons. He's funny, but yeah, I wouldn't say favorites. Oscar's up there. He's got a couple redeemable moments. Not the most standout character. And then Stanley's hilarious. I think he's only down a peg just because, you know, some like the negativity, you know, from time to time.
Stanley. Well, I guess I can talk about Stanley when I get to where I'm going to put him.
Well, it's your turn for B tier anyway, so go for it.
Well, I don't have Stanley in B tier. I'm going to put him higher than B tier.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why now, before I do it, because we're already talking about him. Because I feel like Stanley is me in the future.
Okay, an old black man?
Yes.
Wow, okay. All right, good to know.
He just doesn't care.
No, he does not.
And I appreciate that. Unless it's, what is it, Pretzel Day?
Yeah, Pretzel Day
then
is
that
all
man
in.
cares.
Mm-hmm.
But he is like looking for 5 o'clock. He is out the door. Like,
yep.
He has a very strong wall between work and home life. And this man always wants to be on vacation. And I feel like that's me.
Even the work trip down to Florida, he's all like gussied up.
Yeah.
He's got the sports car and he tells Jim to get in. Yep.
He's just on a vacation the entire time. I just feel like he's me in the future, and I really appreciate that. And also, when they debate if he has a mustache or not, is one of my favorite moments of the entire show.
What do you mean? I sit across from him all day, and I don't even know.
I don't even know.
I will say one of my favorite scenes with him, how you're talking about like he doesn't give a shit, when they bring in the new people from the other branch. I don't remember what branch it is, but the accountant guy, who also happens to be black, does the whole fist pump like brother thing, and just Stanley just like rolls his eyes and like fuck off.
I also like when he goes on a tear of like he'll start saying something really seriously, then he'll say, "and shove it up your butt" at the end.
Yep. Or did I stutter? Or he just yells at Michael that one.
Yep.
And they just agree to just do their own thing after Tobey tells Michael to tell him to like.
Yep. Like this man has strong boundaries.
Oh yeah.
And I respect it. Okay, so let me talk about my B tier.
Yep.
Briefly, because some of them you also had in B tier for similar reasons. Nellie, I really go back and forth on her character because in the beginning I just like couldn't stand her. I actually the first time I was ever watching this show, I stopped watching for a while after her character was introduced because I couldn't stand her. But then I went back and finished it, and I feel like she really gets redeemed.
For sure.
And then she's very lovable and like a very genuine character and person. So she might be higher, but just because I couldn't stand her in the beginning. Tobey, obviously the Scran Strangler.
The thing he
Clearly
latches on too, because it's the only interesting thing.
I mean, he is like, fight me. He totally is.
Right.
But other than that,
wait, you think he is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pick up. Oh.
I think he is. And I think, so he is a Grand Strangler. He was on the jury.
The jury for it.
The man who didn't do it, which is why the guy attacks him when he goes to visit him in prison. Also why he goes to visit him in prison.
Wow. Okay. That...
I stand by it. I fully believe.
That change... If that's true, that changes my perception about him a lot. Because, like... Because Tobey, like I said, he's not not my favorite character, but I thought he was just this awkward dude who just, you know, socially awkward. And then at the end, it's kind of nice. Like, he talks, they, like, invite him out. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll go, you know, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But if he is, then, like, whoa, okay, we gotta look into that. Like, there's some bonus features on some DVD or something. Like, I need some backstory. Because, yeah, that never crossed my mind. Like, I thought he was so, like, because it makes sense. Because I thought he was so invested in it because he was intrigued because he kept reading the paper and stuff. But also, like, it was the only interesting thing that was happening to him that people were talking with him about. So I thought he was getting, like, excited for that. Like, people care about me now kind of thing. And that's why I kind of latched onto it. But then on the other side of the coin, if what you're saying is true and he is the Scranton Strangler, then he's getting excited because he's getting away with it, but also because all this media, once again, about him, like, oh my God. Fuck. Okay, yeah, we need to look that up. Because that...
And as far as I know, like, this is just a fan theory. I don't think it's ever been...
Oh, bullshit.
Like,
okay.
There's no extra footage that, like, confirms.
Jeff's like, oh, the Tobey is the Strangler theory? Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Like, it's just a theory. However, I totally believe it. Like, I can totally see it.
That's fucked up.
And if he is, I feel like the show did a really good job. Because it could be either way. Like, it could be either of those scenarios that you explain. Either one could be true and plausible.
Man,
but I choose to believe that he is the Scranton Strangler.
I don't want to say they'll ruin the show for me, but God, that definitely puts a fucking damper on it. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, and I'm exhausted.
Oh my gosh.
That just blew my mind.
Up at like a 4 a.m. Like feverishly Googling.
I never thought of that. That never crossed my mind. This just shows me how oblivious I am to everything. Oh, that guy's totally hitting on that girl. What? Vice versa. What? Oh, they totally banged. What? Like, come on. I didn't. What? You know how long it took me to understand that the camera panning off of a couple meant they were banging? Forever!
Wow. I don't know what to say about that.
I'm an idiot. That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say. So, I'm so glad that you didn't think about that before.
No.
Can they see your face right now?
Oh yeah, they can.
Okay, good.
Unless they're listening on SoundCloud.com/user numbers.
Rip audio only listeners.
Or podcast services around.
I'm so glad to have blown your mind today with this information. So, anyways,
back to the rest of the list.
Back to what we were talking about.
Who else do you want to freaking just tell me? Oh, well, actually, this was happening. Like, Creed was supposed to be the only criminal here, just hanging out. You want to blow my mind with the other coworker that worked at the office, but we never saw him until Michael had to lay somebody off. That was
I
dumb.
also Creed in B tier.
Yeah.
Because Creed is like, who the hell knows what this man does?
Quality assurance.
Yes. I just find him so interesting.
Dos Equis.
Especially the Halloween episode where he shows up and his clothes are all covered in blood and he's just like, well, that was very convenient.
Yeah. Wait, it's Halloween? Oh.
Oh, good. So I don't know what this man does, but I just don't know. He's an unknown quantity. So I agree with the character.
Another scene of Creed's that I love is the white elephant Christmas, or I think it's where he gives Jim the sweater, and Jim's like, you should just pick this out of his closet, and he's like, he said that.
I have Karen in B tier. I feel like Karen gets so much hate for stealing Jim, and I'm putting that in air quotes, which nobody can see. Right. This woman was just living her life.
Yeah.
Like, she met Jim and she liked him. Like,
right.
She was just trying to live her best life. And I feel like people hate her. I also feel like people hate the boom mic guy that Pam talks to.
Oh, that was one episode. And I like that guy.
I know. People really seem to hate him too.
Why? He stepped in to protect her from ?
Yeah, I don't know. People don't like him.
Okay.
They seem to think that he was trying to break up Jim and Pam. Whatever.
Oh.
Karen is just a woman trying to live her life and gets caught in the middle of a crappy situation.
For sure.
And so I like her character. I like that she ends up moving up in the company later when we see her later and she's like successful and happy. So I like her. Yeah.
I like when she first moves to the office and Jim tells her to do the Italian accent for her recording.
Oh, God.
Karen Piscatelli. And then as soon as he walks away, she's like, Karen Piscatelli. Just like says it normally.
Also, it's Rashida Jones, and she is a beautiful land mermaid.
All right.
So, and everybody should watch Parks and Rec. Also,
that's a whole different tier list that I don't know anyone's name for.
We
for sure.
Also should, well, okay, first we need to fully watch the show.
Yeah.
So you will have fully watched the show, and then we need to come back
fully watch the show
and do another tier list for Parks and Rec.
I fully watched the show. It's just
you fully watched the show, but every time I make
I watched it maybe once or twice. I haven't watched it as many times as The Office.
We need to go back and refresh.
I haven't watched it as many times as How I Met Your Mother. Clearly.
Yeah. We need to go back and refresh before we do our podcast on it.
Fair enough. Apparently, Jeff, they rewatch Parks and Rec every couple months. Nice.
I mean, it's a great show.
Excuse me.
A lot of these other people you talked about, David Wallace, I feel like, just really gets himself caught in a lot of shit. But he's like an okay person.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just trying to do his best. And then he creates Suck It, and I think that that's hilarious.
Nice. All right, A tier time.
Yeah, he's kind of a generic character, but he's just like a good person.
Yeah.
Phyllis would be higher, except for that one really weird moment that you already talked about. That honestly just kind of permanently turned me off to her character.
Wow, that's early on too.
Yeah. Andy really makes me laugh, but the places that they took his character is really weird.
Yeah.
And then at the end when he goes on that like American Idol ripoff show and cries on it, that's another part of that show that I almost physically can't watch.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's so cringy. I feel like that's worse than Scott's Tots. That's harder for me to watch. It's just... It's hard to watch. And I think the other ones we kind of talked about.
Yeah. Cool. A tier. Those of you looking at my screen, you might say, Brett, you're just going with the generic public of who your S tier is because you're smart. And I'd say, yeah, I'm pretty basic, so oops. Well,
I guess we should just create both since we're...
All right. Well, I'll talk about my A tier because I assume you're going to have more than I do. So A tier, I got Dwight and I got Aaron. So Aaron's a weird one because I just like Ellie Kempler. I like her a lot. She's
really funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious. So I like her. I think the only thing Kemper. Thank you, Jeff. I think the only thing I didn't like about her character in this series is I talked about the Andy dynamic. I wanted them to be together. Is there's one episode where Andy and her are supposed to go on their first date, and Erin's sick, and then Andy goes to her house to, hang out with her anyway, and she's living with her foster brother, and they're like real awkward together.
Very awkward.
That was cringe for me, and I'm like, what the fuck? So so that, I think that's the only negative towards her character, really. Other than that, she's funny as the receptionist. The Kelly thing, mentioning that her name is Kelly and then never talking about it again, was just stupid. The Halloween episode where she's dressed up as a dog and Dwight makes some joke. She's like, no, I'm gonna pee. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate, you're talking about your A tier, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about A tier right now. Yeah.
Okay. I have her in A tier too.
Nice.
I appreciate when she goes to Florida and she's living with that old woman.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just this moment specifically where she made her soup,
mm-hmm. but
she said she just boiled some Gatorade. Like, oh my god.
I mean, it works.
There's just some things that make me say yikes that she does, but she's so funny.
Yeah. There was another thing that I'll count as a negative towards her, and I get why they did it story-wise. It made sense, but also it seemed a little forced or sketch. So at the very end, she finds her parents. That to me seemed weird because, like, oh, conveniently, like, that could be anybody just coming up and be like, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, kind of thing. Like, just because this, like, I don't know how big the thing was, obviously, but, like, that was a little... I get it, story-wise, but...
You wanted it to be a heartwarming moment, but there's just enough of, like, that's kind of weird and convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it couldn't quite be, I think, what they were going for. Like, it just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah. Like, I think it's more of a redeeming thing when her and her dad are dancing at the wedding. Where'd you learn how to dance? I don't know. They're both doing the same move. Yeah. Like, I think that's better than the whole press conference thing. Yeah, that was, I don't know. But yeah, I love her character. I love her. And then last one I had for A tier was Dwight. So Dwight's one of those characters that grows on you, and I never thought I would like Dwight, but he has those moments of, obviously, laugh out loud moments, whether it's just him being him, bullheadedness, and not like things going over his head or whatever, or just the crazy methodologies, I guess you could say, that he lives by or acts by. But then also he has these really sincere and caring moments. Like, there's one, I think it's when Karen's there, and like, it's not Karen's fault at all. It's just like the situation Pam realizes, like, she loves Jim, but obviously Jim has moved on at this point, and she's crying about it in the hallway, stairway, whatever. And Dwight just comes up and is like, doesn't know anything that's going on. Just sits down, lends support. I think he holds her hand, or maybe just puts his hand on her shoulder. It's the second one. Does that. And then there's another episode. There are
some heartfelt moments sprinkled in to his character.
Yeah. And then at the very end, like, they wrap it all in a nice, neat bow where he's like, Pam's my friend. Like, he went on, like, this person's this person's this person's this. Like, yeah. Just, like, you see it, but you never think about it until they say it, or at least that was for me. Like, oh, shit, you know? Yeah, they did have that. So, yeah, those are my A tiers. It was just those two.
Only two.
Only two.
So, I also have Oscar in A tier.
Okay.
I just think his character is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And also has some very sincere moments as well, which I appreciate. I also have Pete in A tier.
Wow. Okay.
He's not even in the show that much.
Right.
But the way he treats Aaron makes me like him a lot. And he's just such a funny and, like, good-hearted guy. I just liked him a lot.
Okay.
As a person. Enough to put him in A tier.
Cool.
Stanley, obviously A tier. I've already talked about it because he's me in the future. I also have Pam in A tier. She's not my favorite character.
Okay.
She's a good character, but she's not my favorite. She waffles around a lot in the beginning of the show and hurts a lot of people's feelings because she's waffling back and forth.
Jeff says you can be a little selfish. I could get that. I could see that.
I agree that she can. I feel like it works out with Pam and Jim in the end. I don't know if Pam is the best person for Jim. Obviously, they made it work. But I don't know. I feel weird commenting on their relationship, even though it's not a weird relationship. Like, it's not real, but I still feel weird commenting on it. I just feel like they weren't the best together.
Okay.
Pam's kind of selfish. She doesn't really know what she wants. She kind of comes into her own as the show goes along.
Yeah.
She's just not my favorite. I don't know exactly how to articulate it. But she's just not my favorite.
Fair enough.
I think that's what I have to say.
Hi, Artemis.
Artemis has things to say.
Come on in, buddy.
Hello.
Yes, I did see that,
Kevin,
Jeff.
I also have... Kevin is also in A tier just because he's hilarious, and that's pretty much it. I just find him hilarious.
Nice. Jeff mentioned the actresses who played Pam and Angela started a podcast during quarantine about their time in the office, and John Krasinski was on and said he still has a teapot. That's cool. And that the note...
That is really cool.
The note was actually just his words to her about working with her. Oh, cool.
Oh.
Very nice.
But, yeah, I can't remember what her name is, the actress who plays Pam, but she's hilarious. Like, she's great.
Yeah. I think it's Jen something.
Jenna Fisher.
Thank you. There you go.
She's great.
Angela Kitsch is Angela, right? Jenna Fisher. Thank you, Jeff. I don't know. But yeah, I like how they're friends IRL. That's great.
Angela Kinsey.
Kinsey. Damn it. I was close.
Is Angela.
Yeah,
they're great.
She used to be married to James Gunn? What? No way. Okay, cool. Alright. Well, S tier. So I'll go... So I had 3. 2 of us we match. But I'll talk about Pam just because you were going with that. So I put Pam in S tier kind of for a couple of reasons you brought up. So you mentioned like she doesn't know what she wants to do. I think that's a very relatable trait for Pam that makes me like her more. Because, yeah, there's definitely moments and still even now. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Or I'm second guessing myself or whatever. So the whole art thing that she tries to do for schooling and her stressing about it over there. I connect with. You mentioned her coming into her own as the seasons grow. I mentioned Michael Scott's paper company. Like, she really grows a lot in there as a support system for Michael, but also herself being a saleswoman, taking that jump, and even like leaving for that originally. Like, she was fed up with Charles, and decided to take that step for herself.
I agree with that.
Let's see, what else is there? The end where she flips it around on Jim, like, okay, you supported me, now it's time to support you and what you want to do with that sports company, and let's move to Texas type thing. I really enjoyed. So yeah, talking about her and Jim, I think there was only one real moment of their relationship where I was like, uh-oh, or cringe. And I think they had to do it to make the ending more positive feelings, I guess, or that good feeling, like they're going to make it type thing. They went to that marriage counseling thing, and there was that one episode the whole time they were just like, I appreciate that you said this. I appreciate that. And it was just like, oh my God, it's not working. Like, it's just like, oh, like, yeah. So,
and then, oh my gosh, that guy that we can't remember his name comes in and is like, I don't know what you guys are smoking.
Yeah.
But to speak my truth.
Yeah.
I would appreciate
because he's sitting right there. Yeah.
If you shared some of that.
Yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine Kid. But yeah, I really enjoy Pam as a character. And then I guess we'll go right into Jim saying he's on both of ours. Like, Jim's probably the main character, right? Like, he's got to be.
I think pretty much.
Yeah. So I just love his progression as a character for, like, this is just a job to, not it's his lifestyle and he's dedicated to it, but, like, there's moments where, you know, he gets serious with it, like, even though it goes shittily, but him meeting Charles, like, he wants to be better, him semi-becoming boss or, like, co-captain to Michael and Dwight, second in command, rather, as David Wallace calls him, and stuff like that. He takes things more seriously and kind of picks up stuff, but also, yeah, him going after Pam, just the genuine things he does for her and actions, and then obviously the finale with Dwight, just like, even though he's messed with Dwight for all this time, like, he knows, like, he's his friend and he loves him and he wants to make sure everything's awesome for him. So the bazooka shooting, the going to the bar because he knows, like, you got to make things right with Kevin, making Michael the official best man and getting Michael there at the end is awesome. So yeah, Jim's great. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a negative for Jim's character or something that I didn't like, but I'll have to ponder it if you want to go about why you put Jim in S tier.
I mean, my reasons are pretty much the same as yours. I also think he's one of the funniest characters. I'm trying to decide if I don't think he's the funniest character, but he's definitely one of the funniest characters.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I feel like I don't have that much more to add beyond what you already said.
Gotcha. All right. Want to talk about Michael? Why'd you put Michael up in S tier?
Because, well, okay, he probably is the funniest character.
Okay.
I think. He's just, I don't know, until they wrote him off the show or he left. Yeah. He really made the show.
Right.
Like, I feel like he, for a while, was the main character. And he's just so funny and cringy, and Steve Carell is so committed to the bit. at all times.
Yeah.
And he's just great. Like, at least in the beginning, he's like the point of the show.
Yeah.
And why people started watching, and why some people stopped watching because they thought it was too much. But I guess it was to my sense of humor.
Yeah, he's great. There's just like many of these characters, a lot of scenes that you can definitely pick up or just think of. Like, that was a good one. Like, obviously the prison mic one is great. You got him and Dwight, the music video that they have for that meeting.
Yep.
God, what else is there? Okay, this was an episode I totally forgot about for a while, but it was one of those nights I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing. There was so we just broken up with the real estate girl. Carol, I think her name was. Baskin.
Who is his wife in real life?
Oh, was it? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're married too. They still are.
Huh, that's awesome. But yeah, they broke up, and then Jim and Dwight and some other people took him out, or maybe it was just those two, took him out to like a Chinese restaurant, and they picked up the waitresses and brought them back to the holiday party.
Oh my god.
And he got so wasted that he couldn't remember which one was his. So the whole night he's going back and forth and like staring at him like,
Oh my god. Yep.
And then, yeah, I honestly tear up right at the end when he does show up as the best man. And he says so little in that episode compared to everybody else.
He does. Mm-hmm.
And it's probably that way on purpose, but like, man. Oh, okay. Another amazing scene is when I think it's when he leaves. Yeah, it is when he leaves. When he's leaving, but he didn't tell anybody that he's leaving. But Jim finds out right at the end. And Jim does the like, I'll see you tomorrow. And like Michael's holding back tears. And then he never got to say bye to Pam. But then Pam runs out at the airport. And they like that's another tear-jerking moment. Like, that was great. And then, yeah, obviously him and Holly are great together. And at the end, him showing off the kids to Pam and whatnot and talking about it is great. And yeah, he definitely grows as a character because, yeah, as you mentioned in the beginning seasons, like, he's the draw, but there's a lot that's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, it's funny, but it's bad that it's funny, you know? Like, ew.
It is really bad. Yeah. It's real bad.
Yeah.
But he also has such a good heart, which is why it's not just miserable to watch.
Right.
Which I think some people think that it is just miserable to watch, but like, he's such an inconsiderate jerk in the beginning, but like, he's not doing it on purpose. And I feel like there's enough of that in his character that he actually cares about people and has a good heart, and that's what makes it funny and like fun to watch instead of just hating him. And I also have Holly in S tier because I just love her and I love them together, and she's just so perfect for him and has such a good heart, and they just make me happy and she makes me happy, so that's why she's an S tier.
That's good. And you got some other ones.
Is that all that you have?
I only
can't
had
see
the
your
three.
screen.
Yeah, I only had the three.
Okay, so I also have Dwight in S tier because he's so funny and also has enough of those moments of actually being a genuine, like, caring and good person that once again, for a while you feel like maybe he's just a jerk, but then there's enough of it to where you realize that he's not just a jerk, and he's also hilarious. And there's just so many, like, when Jim and Pam, when Jim's not there and they have that other guy come in and they convince Dwight that Jim is actually an Asian man, and they like retake all their family photos and he's like doubting his entire reality. It's great.
Yep. Yeah, it just made me
So
think
I think he's one of the funniest characters.
Made me think of the the Super Desk episode. Can I just make Super Desk again? No.
No. I also have Bob Vance Refrigeration in S tier.
Okay.
And he's not even a major character, really. But the way that he loves Phyllis and how much he loves Phyllis, that's why he's in S tier. Like, when he bids $1,000
for the hug
to give her a hug, yep. I was just like, I want somebody to love me the way that he loves Phyllis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you would bid $1,000 to give me a hug. Maybe.
Anybody got $1,000? Go to twitch.tv/the You got Amazon Prime, you got Twitch Prime.
we need to start a pool to get this
a GoFundMe
together. So that's the only reason why. Like, I mean, he's a good character. He's not a major character.
Yeah,
but I don't know. That just made an impression.
There is a funny moment going back to Karen when the new people show up where she doesn't know Bob Vance originally. And Phyllis is all offended. She's like, Bob Vance will know or hear about this. And she's like, who? Bob Vance Refrigeration. Or no, like, you have a lot to learn here, kiddo, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and then later in the episode, like, Karen recognizes that. She's like, oh, Bob Vance Refrigeration. And Phyllis gives like the approving nod.
Or I think it's at a Christmas party. And he's introducing himself to everybody. He's just like going around and he says Bob Vance
Refrigeration. And then Ryan's like, so Bob, what do you do? Yep. That's like season 1, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So, and then the last person that I have in S tier is Daryl. Because, first of all, he's hilarious. Second of all, he's really smart and has a really good heart.
Yeah.
Like, he really cares for his friends, and he's a good dad. He really cares. Like, I think his daughter is in, like, 1 or 2 episodes. He's just such a good dad. Like, he's just a really caring person. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, just because he's such a caring person.
Nice. Well, there you have it, Internet. There's our tier list of characters for The Office. Did you agree? Did you not agree? Leave them down in the comment section below. Yell at me, because I don't remember anybody's names, and I'm a hashtag fake fan. I never watched the show, which is true. Because look who's at the top of my list. The most famous 3 characters of the show that probably anybody knows. So, who's to say? Who's to say?
True. Did you just pull up a Wikipedia list?
Yeah, you know, you can't see my computer screen. Maybe I was just dragging people over one by one, being like, this person seems fine.
Also, I will say, you can't see me right now, but I literally do have a character list pulled up on my phone so that I could look up people's names. Because I'm so bad with names.
It's alright. Cool.